Hello, everyone. Good evening or good afternoon, and welcome to On Location Memphis. Today, we have an exciting guest. He is a screenwriter as well as a member of the Auteur Club, and we have him on Location Memphis just to tell us a little bit about himself, everything that he's working on, his goals, and what he hopes to achieve in being a member of the Auteur Club. So, don't go anywhere. Make sure you subscribe and like our channel and share this feedback and this interview for those who may be interested. So stick around and we'll be right back with our guest. All right, so welcome back, everyone. And now we're going to bring on Tommy Chandler. Welcome.
What's up? I was jamming. I was jamming to your weight, the countdown. I was jamming to it. I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. I felt like I was in a waiting room.
I know, right? Thank you so much. Thank you.
No problem.
We definitely appreciate you being here with us at On Location Memphis to do this interview. And the main thing that I just love about reading your bio and just getting to know you, from a personal standpoint, is that you definitely have leadership skills. Your screenwriting, is definitely impeccable, and the storytelling that you're ready to do and just able to do is just incredible. So thank you for your time here.
That's awesome, because I don't really see myself as a leader. I just kind of just say positive stuff, and just like hopefully something sticks. But thanks for calling me a leader. That makes me feel really good, and the pressure.
Absolutely. Well, tell us a little bit about Tommy Chandler. What are you working on?
Yeah, so I'm actually working on a few projects. I have high ADHD, so it's just crazy how things are just like popping here and there. But like some of the main things I'm working on is I'm working on a few things for this writing group called BWG. We're always pumping out projects and stuff like that. So I'm working on a few scripts for that.
Yes.
I'm also working on pitching my stuff for like my own personal stuff, like my animations and my cartoons. And I'm also doing some like illustrations for people. I'm trying to pick up, editing work here and there. So I'm just trying to, stay busy, so that's basic. That's what I'm working on, like just trying to grind.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I'm in Memphis, and we met through like mutual friends. So we became
Mm-hmm.
acquainted, from Stage 32. So one of the things that kind of stood out to me was that you're not in Memphis, but you're connected with filmmakers and writers in Memphis. So tell us about that. Like, where are you from, and how is your writing where you're at, and why did you connect with writers in Memphis?
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy because you mentioned like Stage 32, and I don't live in the big high end A-list cities. I live in Indiana. Like there's no entertainment scene in Indy. And so I had to find different platforms and everything to just kind of like to get my own stuff out there. So I was just researching, and I can't remember like how I found Stage 32. I think it was like through Blue Cat or something like that.
Mhm.
But I found Stage 32, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. I get to pitch my stuff for $35, and like that's cheap to be able to talk to somebody who's in the industry. And
Yeah.
so like I decided to go on that, and I met this guy. His name is Marcus Luttrell. And Marcus Luttrell Holmes, my bad, his middle, whatever. But yeah, no, I met him through Stage 32, and
Awesome.
he's from Memphis, and originally I'm from Nashville. And
Okay.
so when I was going through and I was like trying to find people to pitch my stuff to and like find like kind of network and everything, the first thing that I saw was Memphis, and I was like, man, people from Tennessee, like I feel like I could have a connection with. So you can't go wrong with people from Tennessee,
Absolutely.
So I reached out to him, and then him and I just stayed connected for, going on like 2 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's either a year or two. I don't know. Like time has just like flown by, because
Yeah,
I feel like 2020 and 2021 didn't even happen. But
exactly.
so like I found Marcus through Stage 32,
Mhm.
and then and so that's how I got connected to like the Memphis scene
Yeah.
is through him, honestly.
Got it.
So
Okay.
yeah, and like and so through him and all that, I've been just kind of trying to meet people and network.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's great. And one of the things that I love about On Location is the fact that, with you being a member of the Auteur Club, not
Hmm.
only are you able to connect and be able to make these networking, like you want, make these networking connections
Oh
benefit you
yeah.
somewhat of a way that they turn into, a writing group, or something that you can actually collaborate and do like with others. So how important is that to be able to have a platform like On Location Memphis has, where you can meet these people and not just network, but actually do projects together? Like, how important is that to you?
Well, it's very important for sure because like places like On Location, like they just give that platform for artists that are actually wanting to step into the industry,
Mhm.
and like it's just so hard to get into the industry now because you have to know somebody.
Absolutely.
It's
True.
crazy. And like because I've done some pitches and some interviews and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
they're just like, well, what's your representation? And I'm like,
Right.
I don't know. I don't have. It's me, myself, and Tommy Chandler. I guess I don't know. And so it's crazy because you can't get into the industry without having that rep.
Mhm.
And I feel like On Location kind of makes it. It gives you. It kind of skips that step a little bit, or it gives you that representation.
Absolutely.
So if I go in and I'm just like, yeah, I'm represented by On Location, or
Mhm.
then they're like, oh, okay, then I have some clout.
Absolutely. Cloud is
So
definitely necessary today.
exactly. So platforms like that, I mean, it's very important. I absolutely I love it. I really do. Because I feel like it's just like a natural environment for me.
Mhm.
Like I love being in the I want to be in the entertainment business
Mhm.
for as a career, you
Right.
know. And it's just really hard when you don't have that connection. But then like On Location comes around and it's just like, hey, we can represent you, and you have all these like active members. That's the thing is that I like is that they're active. They don't leave you on red or stuff like that. You don't see the little dots or whatever. Like you're going to get a response from somebody, and then they're going to help you. You're not left on, like I said, you're not left on red.
Exactly. Exactly.
so
Yes,
so
definitely.
yeah, I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. And like they've helped. I've met a few people through On Location,
Mhm.
and I mean they've helped the writers group. They've helped DWG a lot. So
That's awesome. Great. Well, that is definitely something to have because, back in the days we had like what when Facebook first came out, like we could
mhm.
connect and see people, but some of the pages were fake. It's like
Oh
so and so
yeah,
was a celebrity trying to friend you, and it's like somebody in a whole.
exactly.
So this this definitely what I love about being able to be in a membership platform. Even when Clubhouse come out, it's just audio. You can talk and people message, but there's nothing like being able to actually message someone and then you work together. Like it's really mind blowing. So I'm excited for what On Location has. I'm excited for what you have, and I'm just curious.
Thanks.
What made you get into animation and screenwriting? Like
Um,
why that type of career path?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I mean, I have to credit most of my creativity from my grandma. Like she was a school teacher,
Mhm.
and after school every day, she'd pick me up, and we'd go get McDonald's, and we'd go get some French fries, and she'd call it brain food. So like her and I would go get some brain food and everything, and
Yeah.
then so after that we would go back to her place, and she always had this like plastic container under her bed that just had, I mean, all the art supplies on like on the face of the planet. Like she had,
Um,
like beans. She had,
yeah.
she just had everything. She had like, construction paper, all that.
Okay.
And so like one day, I mean, this is where my animation love came in. One day I was just like, I was watching TV and I was watching cartoons. I think it was probably like Looney Tunes,
Mhm.
honestly.
I love
And
them.
I was like, man, I want to see my stuff on the screen. And so I went underneath my grandma's bed and got all the construction paper and stuff, and I made this character. called I called him Mighty Mouse. Now I promise you I did not see Mighty Mouse beforehand, before naming him. And so like I just made this like construction mouse, and I just thought it was awesome because I was like, oh, I get to play around with it and physically see it. And then like, I don't know, maybe like a week later or so, or I saw like on the TV, like I saw, like a Mighty Mouse cartoon, and I was like, being this young kid, I was like, did I just like imagine this? Like, did it come to fruition? Oh man, it was such a
crazy.
cool, it was such a cool feeling,
Yeah.
And so I think that's where that's where I can pin my love for my animation, is like I just wanted to see my vision, come
Mhm.
to come to the screen and everything. And so,
Okay.
so after that I started reading, like Calvin and Hobbes
Ooh.
and all that. Like I
Yeah.
just I just started developing like a really like weird sense of humor. And I just wanted to see all of my jokes and like all of my crazy characters come to life.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah. And then from there on, I just, continued watching cartoons, just trying to keep myself up to date with all the stuff. And
yeah.
all the things that kept me interested was like, Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, and
Yeah. Yeah.
regular show. Like that show was
Mhm.
amazing. And then Rick and Morty came along, and
Oh my
you
God.
know, so like all these cartoons, I'm like, man, these
All
are
the inspiration.
exactly. And I want my name to be up there with the greats.
Absolutely.
So
That's awesome.
that's where my love for animation and entertainment comes in, because I feel like I was a natural entertainer. I could feel it in my bones. Like
Yeah.
nothing makes me happier than like, talking and being animated and just like, I don't know, cracking jokes, that's just where my element is.
Yeah, yeah, but that's good. Like
Yeah.
that's a good thing because that's gonna help you, what I'm saying, on your journey. And
Right.
speaking of like your animation, your vision and everything, I see the hat. What's that on the hat?
Ah!
Okay.
Look, I'm gonna be on this, so I'm just gonna, do some
Okay.
shameless.
All right. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Brand. So
Yeah,
tell us
so
a little bit about that. Mhm.
Reaped is it's a cartoon idea. It's an animation idea that I've had for, man, since I was in college. And it was an idea that I had literally just like thinking in the shower, because that's where most of my ideas happen, I guess, or in the shower. So like I was just thinking, one day, like what would happen if, I was like, doesn't he get like, tired of doing his job, or
Mhm.
doesn't he need help? Because like people die every day. So it's like, does he get help, or, is there like an organization of reapers or whatever? And
Yeah.
so that's kind of where like Reaped came from.
Okay.
At first it was going to be a show about like working as a reaper in an organization, but
Mhm.
then it kind of evolved into this character named Grim, or no, sorry, it's
Mhm.
Graham and Jean.
Yeah.
Those are the two reapers, and it
Okay.
just kind of evolved into this like apocalyptic thing. Like, what would happen if
Mhm.
all of the souls in the universe just got re-reaped, like they were
Right.
just released?
Yeah.
And so and now these guys have to re-reap them, so
Mhm.
that the universe doesn't go through this, what I call, it's called the it's the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And it's where like if overpopulation happens, then the universe just explodes, and
Oh
then
wow.
the creation has to restart. So it's their job to re-reap them
Yeah.
before, the overpopulation happens. But then the spin is they can't do it without their sides, and their sides are turned off at the moment, because there's other things in the works that are going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a
Okay.
very like it's a very complicated story, but like at its root, the
Mhm.
story, like that's the story. But at its
Right.
root, it's about like what happens when you're stripped of something that that defines you.
Wow.
um
It's deep.
yeah, so like, yeah, so Gene he's a reaper,
Mhm.
so he's known, he defines himself as, I go out and I collect souls, I'm the man, right?
Yeah.
But then when he's stripped of his abilities to collect souls, what defines him?
Right,
Like,
right.
so he kind of has to like reinvent himself.
Mhm.
And through the help of Graham, who's like this big guy who just, he's the motivator. I kind of model myself after Gene and Graham a little bit,
Okay.
but he's like the positive ball of energy around him. And but it's really about Gene and him trying to like find himself again after everything is stripped from him. And so that's the deeper theme.
Gotcha.
And that's one of the things that I've learned from doing interviews and
Mhm.
pitches and everything, because they always ask me, like, okay, so what's your story about?
Right.
And when I was first pitching, I would tell them the surface level. I'd be like, oh, this is about, these characters, and this is about, their journey and everything. But then I as I got deeper and deeper into my pitching, I was getting like amazing feedback, but then they were just like, there was this one guy, he told me he was like, so what's your story really about? And so that kind of like made me open up my mind a little bit, and I was like, the story is really about, what happens when you're stripped from something that you think defines you. And him and I had like an hour discussion. Because I did a pitch session through Stage 32 with him, and we ended up going over our time because him and I were talking about it. So yeah, I ended up getting it's crazy because I ended up getting all fives on that pitch, and it didn't get picked up. So if you're listening, man, just pick it up.
Right.
You gave me all fives. I don't understand.
Exactly. And you're trying to pitch this to a network that will actually understand it. So you're wanting a network to pick it up, because when you think about it, like, people are going through that all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a big what if that is current. When people say why now, when you go in the pitch and stuff and they like, why now? Well, this is why now, because of COVID. Everybody is who they used to be. They're not there anymore. You know what I mean? Like, even
Exactly.
being stripped of what they could do. They can't get a hold on COVID. They don't know what's going on. So it's like them trying to find themselves outside of COVID. So it's definitely something that is relatable and very interesting. I love it. So
exactly, and
that's the thing. Like, when it comes to these platforms, that you submit yourself to and you do these pitches and everything, it kind of, it does make you look at your work and go back and see what can you do to change it. So with you going on Stage 32 and trying to get involved in these platforms, like, how far has REAP gone? Like, how far have you made it? Like, have you entered in any contests, or do you do any contests?
Yeah, so like I've entered it through two contests. They're both the same one, but it's the New Voices of Animation contest. And I think it entered its second year just like last year.
Okay.
And so I made it in the top. So I made it in the semifinals 2 years ago, and then I made it to the quarterfinals this year. So
Wow.
and that's just the script and everything.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of wondering, like, I'm still waiting on my feedback from from last year,
Oh,
which
wow.
is weird, which is weird. I don't know what's going on, but I want to see like what I'm doing wrong, or what I'm doing right,
Yeah.
but as that's as far as contests go.
Mhm.
But like I want to, I'm on the fence about contests because it's always like a gamble.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so it's like, is it worth my time? Like, and it's not like a confidence thing. It's just like, should I invest this money into this contest,
Yeah.
and is it worth it? And how it's just, I guess it's just another way to network. And
Mhm.
I've just found other ways to do it, like through On Location, Stage 32, LinkedIn. I mean, I've gotten some crazy success on LinkedIn.
Gotcha.
Um, and Twitter. I mean, I've gotten some great connections on Twitter.
Mhm.
So it's just, I don't know. It's just, yeah, contests are very, I don't know just yet,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I guess until I actually get to animate it, which I need to find more time in the day or something like that, because like because I have like a specific vision for it,
Yeah.
and like I think that's kind of putting a nail in my foot because I have a very high expectation for this thing.
Mhm.
And when I put it on, when I put it on the computer, I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, is this good enough?
Yeah.
And so I guess like one of my goals this year is to just be like, budget. I'm just going to put it out there,
Yes.
like
Yes.
whether it's, like if it's just a podcast, because
Mhm.
I mean, I have an idea that that kind of ties in with Reaped, and
Yeah.
it's a podcast called Ripped,
And
and
podcasts
it's
are popular. They're really
uh,
popular
ex-
right now.
exactly right. And so like my idea is to kind of tie that into the world of Reaped, so
Mhm.
that when like when the season is on hiatus, you don't have to wait 9 years for
Right.
season two. You can listen to the podcast, and the podcast will kind of like immerse the viewer and like the
Yeah.
audience to like make them feel like they're a part of it. And then that way, when like season two does come out, then Easter eggs will pop in, and
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah. I
So
get
even if it's just like a podcast or something, I just want to put it out there. Like,
yeah.
close, what is it? What's the saying? Like closed mouths don't get fed or something like that.
Absolutely.
So,
No, they do not. If you don't
yeah.
say anything, like opportunities will literally pass you by. And I think
Hmm.
that, one of the things in 2022 that we often do is we miss opportunities because we're either afraid to take that chance or we're afraid to make that commitment to something that is going to require commitment. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I definitely understand what you're saying, and contests can be hit and miss. So it is important, to get on platforms, to make yourself known, to try to build these connections and at least put a face out there, to what you have going on. So
Hmm.
yeah, there's definitely something interesting. And I noticed that you met a lot of your writers, you're in the writing group and all that. You met a lot of the writers through like social media and things like that. What kind of writing
Yeah.
are you in? Tell us about that.
So I met some amazing writers through Stage 32, and we actually like a year. I want to say it has been a year or so, man. Like
Yeah.
we came up with this group called DWG,
Hmm.
and it stands for Diverse Writers Group.
Wow.
And we were all just tired of our stuff not getting read, because we are I fully believe that I am in the presence of some like incredible writers. I really am. And so we're all just just tired of our stuff not being seen, and we just want to be storytellers and
Hmm.
all this stuff. And so DWG, man, has really just they've become more of a family
Hmm.
than anything. I mean, they're great people, and each one of them just brings something spicy,
Right.
like we're all just like, it's like a pot of chili, and everybody brings, like everybody brings the peppers and the freaking mushrooms and all that stuff. Like
Absolutely.
they bring the spice. And
Absolutely.
so and they just, yeah, it means a lot, because without them, I mean, who knows where
Hmm.
my scripts would be right now. They'd probably be sitting on my computer.
Hmm.
But now that I feel like I have like a responsibility,
Yeah.
and to kind of like motivate the group, and it kind of it gives me that necessary push, these
Hmm.
guys.
Yeah.
And I appreciate every single one of them. So I mean, they just, like I said, they bring it all. And we meet like we've been meeting every Sunday for the
Hmm.
past, I want to say, for like the past year.
Yeah.
And I'm really impressed, because groups like that, they usually just die off,
Right.
like, I don't know if you've ever played D&D, but that's kind of how I expected it. Like, I just kind of expected this group to be kind of like a D&D group, where we played around for, 3 weeks, and we're just like, oh, I can't make it this week. Oh, I can't make it this month. All
Right.
right. And then it just kind of dwindles off,
Yes.
but this has it's stuck around, and I think it's for a reason. It's because we're all just super motivated,
Mhm.
and I'm looking forward to all the things that we have
Yeah.
going. I mean, we have one project done,
Mhm.
and then then we're starting to work on another project.
Right.
So now what we're doing is we're starting to kind of like, I think we're starting to find our legs a little bit, like, because we're instead of focusing on one project now, we're
Yeah.
like, okay, let's, get that done and over with, and then let's like get to the next one.
Mhm.
Um, I think the hurdle that we have for 2022 is to find somebody that wants wants our stuff.
Right.
Because like we have a finished
Mhm.
product. It's all done.
Yeah.
It's all done. Now the thing is like, where does it where how, where do we go from here?
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's it's challenging, but I'm all for it,
Right.
because everybody in that group, they they do their thing, like
Mhm.
they find connections.
Yeah.
Without honestly, without you, I wouldn't have found On Location,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, this is, and who knows where this is going to lead me, but I have the utmost confidence that this is going somewhere.
It's
So,
going somewhere, but you're seeking representation, and that's one of the things about like being in a writing group. There's so many people that can contribute, and so many people that can work on this, maybe work on copyright, maybe work on the legal aspect, maybe work on
yeah,
the website. There's so many, so it's definitely beneficial to be in a writing group that is gonna make you focus on your career goals more than anything, push you to do that. So
exactly.
and like with representation, it's kind of hard to find agents, things like that. Are you looking for representation, or how do you feel? Do you think it's important to have an agent in this day?
Well, I definitely like it. I definitely think it's important to have representation,
Hmm.
and I wish there was a way to do it without it. But
I
I throughout my like without my sorry throughout my research and all
hmm
my stuff, I just don't think it's possible.
hmm
Like I think you have to find representation, but then the thing is, it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
People want to see what you've
What
done
you have.
to get represented, but then like you can't show anything because you haven't done. Like
Hmm. Yeah, I
it's
know
just
exactly what you mean.
so how are you supposed to get representation if you haven't been given the chance to do anything?
Hmm.
you
Absolutely.
know
Absolutely.
um, and so, that's why I like On Location so much, is because, they see the talent and they're just like, okay, we're going to find a place for you,
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I've been looking for, is
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Because because it's just stupid hard to find representation anywhere.
It
But
is.
I think it's important.
Mhm.
And like if you can do it, and if you can find it, it's like, the next level,
Yeah.
like in a game or whatever, if you can like if you can find that next level, then
Yeah.
sure, that's the cheat code, I guess.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the thing. It's one of those catch 22. It's like you said, you if you don't have anything to show for, it's like it's hard to get representation, but
Right,
how do you get something, to be able to show for it? It's like, oh my God, like
exactly.
what do you and a lot of times you're either trying to, you know, inbox somebody, or you're trying to just make yourself known online, but it's like, what is the magic? It's like something is magical about it, like to where all these other people are just getting representation and they're getting themselves out there. So it's hard, but I believe and I trust in everything that you're doing right now. You're making the right steps, you're taking the right approach. Sooner or later, if you don't have an agent, you'll still come across somebody who's looking for what you have, the content. And I
Right.
that's what makes DWG so special. It's the diversity. You know what I mean? Like people are looking for that.
I love and that's like really important to me in this group, is the diversity, honestly,
Hmm.
because I feel like we can represent everybody,
Hmm.
and like we have like diverse talents and diverse characters. There's people in the group that are just off the chain, and I'm like, oh dude, I love I love it. I absolutely love it, because any and all material I can use,
Hmm.
I just love I love the people in there, because they just like, I feel like I'm living in a story with this
Yeah,
group. it,
absolutely.
you know and so yeah, diversity is very important, because you get different perspectives,
Hmm.
like if everybody believed the same thing and everybody worked the same way,
Yeah.
it'd be boring, and
Yeah.
it'd be just like, all right, like I guess there's one track, but
Hmm.
then you get people from different cultures, and you we have women and men on the group and everything, and like you get different perspectives,
Yeah.
and it's just fantastic. And so I think to me, DWG represents, the like the common folk, you know what I'm saying? Like you can see yourself in this group,
Yeah.
you know. uh, I I don't want to exclude anybody. Now,
Yeah.
like, it it'd be cool to like have it as a big, a big thing and everything. But like, I think the thing that makes DWG so special is, we work as a collaborative group, but then
Yeah.
we're also working on our own individual stuff, but
Yeah.
then we're also, so like if we're working on our own stuff, we can, come to our pals in the group and just be like, hey, can you read this? Can you look at this?
Right.
And then
Feedback.
and then when it gets, when this stuff gets picked up, you just slap the DWG name on there, and then we all benefit from it. And so I just think that that group represents what we're feeling as artists and screenwriters and animators, and
Absolutely.
we just want to be seen. And
Yeah.
that's what I feel about that. I
Yeah.
can go on and on about them, man. Like, I mean, you're in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Love
You're
it.
in there.
Yes. Love it. And I think that, it's interesting to find individuals that are trying to do what you want to do. A lot of
Mhm.
times you find people and they're working on stuff and it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to get my hands on that. But when you literally read something and you become enthralled in it and you just like, okay, I can see what's going on. I got some ideas of my own, to go with these characters. That is literally amazing. So I really
Yeah.
like that. I definitely agree that writing groups are the best. DWG is going to go far. It's going to go really far and do great things.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm just curious, what are your goals, for 2022? What do you have planned?
So for 2022, because like I turned 30 today. Today's my
Yes,
birthday.
that's right.
Yeah, thank you. So my goal, for 2022 and like the next decade of my life is just say fudge it, like just why not? Just, I just want to do my own thing, and I want to start my next chapter of my life as something that I want to do, and I want to be successful at it. So if I think it, then I'm just gonna do it.
Absolutely.
So my goal is to
Hmm.
stick with that, thought process, and get some of my animations out. I want to take I want DWG to go far in 2022. I
Absolutely.
mean, I want us to just like just just take the thing by storm, like have some of our stuff, looked at, and,
Hmm.
because I'm not even like, I'm not trying to be biased, but our group has some really great stories, man. Like, just
Yes.
stuff that are they're just really poignant, like on point. And
Hmm.
I feel like they could be like timeless stuff,
Yeah.
and stuff that people are that people want to see, but haven't thought of yet. And they're all unique stories, and you know,
Hmm.
but yeah, for 2022 and the next decade of my life, I just want to just say fudge it and just do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I don't want to pretend to not, I don't want to pretend to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to live my life and not just
Mhm.
work for a living,
Yeah. Yeah.
I want
Absolutely.
to, so I want to be able to, like, take my girlfriend out, and, I don't want her to work at all.
Must
I
be
want to be
nice.
able to just like, I just want us to just like go out and like just travel and like do things, and not even worry about like, oh, I have to be in at 9 o'clock in the morning, and
Exactly. Oh my
you
God.
know.
I know exactly.
So yeah, so my goal is to just be able to do something that I love, and that I can just enjoy my life,
Right.
and
Right.
just,
Paid
and
to.
I feel like I could do that with
Yeah.
DWG, and with like On Location. I feel like they're on my list, like,
Yeah.
there's a reason why I wanted to do this interview today, so that
Yeah.
I could start it off,
Right.
so I could start off my new chapter,
Chapter.
like, fresh,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
talking about something that I love.
Yes, yes, yes. And that's growth. You know what I mean? Like when you know what you want, a lot of people don't know and they get into the industry. So when they're they're pitching or they're being interviewed, talking to people, it's like they'll ask this question, but it's like they can tell just from your answers that you don't know where you want to go. You know what I mean? It's like they can tell that you haven't really
Right.
thought out. You just want to write something. No, you actually know that you want to do this. Like this is something you want to do and get paid to do because you love it. It's like you live it and breathe it. So I really,
Exactly.
yeah, that's
It feels like I'm like a Coke can just kind of like shaken up, like I just
just
and
get
then
ready.
and then once that cap is released, like I just gonna just go,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like once somebody says, yeah, DWG, all right, let's see what you guys got, and then I'm just gonna be like, whoa, okay, all right,
Like let it rip.
let's go, let's go.
That's that's good. I love that you're motivated and you're inspired to just do this. Like, is there anything that kind of helps you to keep doing what you're doing? We know you're not in film school and you're not doing this and that. Like, do you do research on it? Do you read certain books? What do you do to kind of get the information you need to learn how to write the stories you want to write?
Yeah, so I just keep up with just like what's in the industry at the moment. So like I'll go on Netflix and like watch cartoons.
Right.
Like I'll go on watch animations on Hulu and
Hmm.
stuff like that. I'll read a little bit more stuff like fantasy books.
Hmm.
Let's see. Sometimes I'll even just go outside and just like I'll take my telescope and just look up in the up in the stars. Like just
Okay.
to just to kind of like take away everything while I'm here on Earth. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it feels good to just kind of like leave, and like through the telescope, I feel like I'm not here anymore. Like I
Mhm.
just feel like I'm in space, and so I just kind of keep myself, like when like the world's like whenever that pressure is on me,
Yeah.
I just like to, like I said, the telescope, man, like that just takes me to another planet.
That's cool. That's cool.
so so I just try to keep up with all the industry leading stuff, and I just try I recently I've just been watching anything and everything on Netflix just to see, like I recently watched Tick Tick Boom, which was
Mhm.
really, it's crazy. That movie was awesome. Andrew
Wow.
Garfield killed it, and
Okay.
it's crazy because that movie was about this guy who he's about to turn 30, and he's
Yeah.
just like I need to make something. He's like, I've been working on this project for years, and I need to finish it before I'm 30. And I'm like, this could not have come at a better time.
That's me.
Like
Me.
I was like, this is insane. I am like living. Who is this guy? Like what? So like I've just been trying to immerse myself more and more in the entertainment business if that's what
Mhm.
I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to pay attention to up and coming actors, and I've just been just watching movies, just seeing like what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, and
Yeah.
I'm not a screenwriter at
Right.
all.
Right.
So when I watch these movies, I kind of think about it in a screenwriter sense. I'm like, okay, act one, yeah,
Mhm.
exterior, inside of Joe's apartment or
Yeah.
whatever. So that's how I'm trying to keep up,
Yeah.
trying to educate myself a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I
Yeah.
mean, you're doing the right things because you mentioned, being on these websites and platforms. So you're pitching. Like, how is
hmm
that, or how do you come up with your pitches? What tips would you have to anybody that's looking to go out and do a tip, like they're pitching and stuff like that? What would you suggest to them?
Yeah. So throughout like all my pitches, I've learned that you just go in it. I don't have a script written at all.
Mm,
Just like, maybe have some like points in your head,
hmm.
but if you go in with a script, they're going to be able to tell like it's scripted.
Yeah.
And so my suggestion is just like speak from the heart, because if you're passionate about it,
Hmm.
they're gonna be able to feel that energy,
Hmm.
and they're gonna be able to they're gonna be able to tell through your genuine actions that you are passionate about this project.
Yeah.
And so I recommend just, speaking from the heart, just and like take a deep breath, because I mean, you're gonna get nervous, you're gonna stumble on your words and everything, but just like take a deep breath and just
Mhm.
like just kind of breathe it in. And and then I guess like also, like I said before, like what I learned is, dig deep in the root of your story.
Yeah.
Just don't tell about the surface, about like, oh, it's about, like in my case, about these two reapers who are trying to re-reap their souls.
Right.
What it's really about, like I said, is about what happens if, what happens when you're stripped from something that you think defines you.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know Now
Yeah.
that's something I'm like, ooh, okay, all right. you
Yes.
know
Yes.
um and so I mean, I wish I would have pitched it that way when I was doing my first pitches, but
Oh my
but
God. Well, I mean, those were your first ones. So you know what I'm saying? You
exactly,
had to get comfortable because it's
right.
really nerve-wracking to go into a pitch. The first thing you're thinking is like, what are they thinking as I'm talking? But it's like you're trying to keep talking at the same time, but you're like, oh my God, did I make a mistake? What did I so it can be stressful and pressing, but it is a good opportunity at the same time because when you're doing the pitch, I'm sure they give you feedback and there's
Oh
this and
yeah.
that on the pitches and stuff. So that's
They give
definitely
you
good.
they give
That's
you really good feedback too. I mean, Stage 32 has been incredible with their feedback,
mhm. Mhm.
because they're really good at, doing like the sandwich where it's like, oh, you did this right, work on this, but then you have this going for you, so it's like,
Mhm.
they do a really good job at that.
Yeah,
So, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate the feedback and everything. So
absolutely.
I mean, and I feel like I've grown as a creative in
Mhm.
that sense, because, like I said, now I think of things on a deeper level. Like, yeah, like it's like animation is supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be
Mhm.
goofy, and all that stuff, but like Rick and Morty stuff, like
Mhm.
something like that. Like, I mean, yeah, it's goofy and stuff, but I mean, there are some like heavy themes, that, and like, another one that I really love is BoJack Horseman.
Oh, yeah.
BoJack BoJack Horseman, man, it's so dark, but like he tackles depression, he tackles anxiety, he
As
tackles all this stuff.
yeah,
But
the
it's a
chapter
but
line
it's a
thing.
fun, yeah, but it's like a fun animation. And
Mhm.
so shows like that have just like helped me grow, and doing like pitches and stuff like that have really kind of helped me escalate my things to the
Mhm.
next level, hopefully to a professional level if anybody's
Right,
watching
right,
this.
right. Right, right. And so I think the best thing about it is the story that you want to tell. All you need to do is get it in front of the person that you want it in front of. So I
Hmm.
think that what On Location is doing is really opening doors for a lot of people, like you and me as well, to be able to bridge the gap, because you
Yeah.
have, these connections that you're making with people that are members and you're listening to everything that's coming in from these people that are members, but also you got the music side. So how cool would it be to come across somebody, tell them about Reap, and one big event, basically now all of a sudden you have Reap and you have your animators and you have your animation or whatever, and then now you get ready to put music in it. Like how dope would that be? You know what I'm saying?
That
So
would be that'd be so incredible, because like I have like a specific theme in mind that I want. And so it'd
yeah.
be awesome to just like have somebody from On Location just be like, "Oh yeah, man, we get it." Cuz like
Mhm.
I love hip hop, and I love like this like Jack White type of
Mhm.
music. And
Yeah.
so I have this I have this theme in my head that I wish I could just like get out, but it's like a theme, it's like a hip hop Jack White
Yeah.
mix. So it'd be
Yeah.
awesome if I could get somebody from On Location to just like
Right,
make
right.
something like that, man.
Absolutely. I get it. I get it. So it's interesting and I'm very excited for you. I can't wait to see like the projects that you put out or that we put out, in DWG. I love being a part of it. And I think that just being able to get on social media and actually talk to people that are in other places that get it is really it's in the golden age, as far as for independent filmmakers and writers and
Oh
everybody
yeah.
in the industry right now, because we can do a lot, just from being at home. Because of COVID, we can't really go into studios and do much, so the best thing you can do is collaborate, via Zoom, or right
Mm-hmm.
now digitally. And then when you're able to get out there, everything will just flow, like you build the relationship, to where everything will work out. Could you see
Mm-hmm.
yourself on set or doing anything like that? Or like,
Oh my God, I envision myself on set every day,
oh
Laquita. I do.
my
But but honestly, I mean, it'd be a blast to work on set, but then like it would also be a blast to just like have my stuff out there in general,
God.
just and and for me to be able to be in control of like
Mhm.
the situation and like the creative output and all that stuff, it would just be a dream come true.
Yeah.
And I would man, yeah, I can definitely see myself, like you say, I'm a leader, which is kind of
Yeah.
nice, and I feel like I could, in that situation, I could be like, oh yeah, I feel like I'd be a very fun boss.
Mhm.
I guess, I don't know,
Yeah,
but
you know what you want though. You know what I'm saying? You know your
right.
vision. So it's nothing like other people getting it and then coming on set and knowing what you want, and it comes out, you're like, yes, that's what I wanted. So it's
Well,
exciting.
the writers of South Park, like they literally like get in this room and they just like they chat for maybe like 30 minutes or whatever. And then they're just, spitballing and just talking and whatever. And they have a big whiteboard behind them and they're just
Yeah.
like, making these jokes and stuff. That's how like that's how I picture my life is like me with DWG, and we're
Yeah.
all sitting in this room and we're just like cracking jokes and we're just like
Yeah.
making, we're all just like sipping coffee and whatever. And
Yes.
then, we have these ideas and then it's like, oh my God, like Quita, like Marcus, you guys just said something amazing. Let's,
Yeah.
that sounds great. And then we just kind of make our own story. But
Absolutely.
I mean, that's how I see my life going, is just like having a great time with a group of people, like a group of creatives that I just absolutely adore.
Yeah.
And just whenever I talk about it and think about it, it doesn't feel like work,
Yeah.
like it feels like I'm doing a project for
Mhm.
money.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something you love doing. And you
Exactly.
do that as well though. You as far as like even when you're independent outside of DWG, you do, take on other projects if someone's needing writing or someone's needing, like you do independent things as well like that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, I'll write for sure. And I will animate. I illustrate. I edit it. I do videography, cinematography. I'm like a buffet of talent. Like anything you want, and if I don't know it, I'll learn it in a heartbeat.
Hmm.
Like, and I'll put the utmost passion behind it. But like I love doing animation, and I just love the illustration, and I love writing, and I
Yeah.
love making stories and being a storyteller, and creating things. I love being a creator.
Right, right, right.
And that's why I don't consider myself, like a screenwriter, illustrator, animator. I just consider myself a creative, because
Yeah.
I just love doing anything creative,
Right,
you
right,
know.
right.
Because I was painting houses for a few months, and I was like, I hate this. Because these hands are not meant for hard labor. All
Oh,
right, these are creative hands. you
so
know
this isn't me. Well, at least you know that. Can you imagine how many people are working jobs that they hate getting up to go to? You know what I mean? Like, imagine it. So
hmm
I totally understand what you're saying. Like, being able to just write, do something you love, get paid to do it. Like, that's what you want to do. You don't want to paint no houses. So, like,
Exactly. Well, like currently I say kind of unemployed. I'm a graphic design. I'm doing graphic design as a
mhm,
contractor, but I only get like, maybe 3 hours of work maybe every week,
yeah,
which is not good money at all.
mhm,
But like I'm just tired of doing stupid jobs and
yeah,
it's not getting me anywhere. It's just like I'm in like a mud puddle whenever I'm doing a job I don't like. and I'm just tired of it, you know. Like I think in my 30s, you know, 30s and you know 2022, to
Mm-hmm.
circle back to that, I want to be able to do something that I love and that I'm good at,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and not to toot my own horn, but I am good at those things. I am good at illustrating, animating, screenwriting,
Yeah.
you know, storytelling, all that, editing, and
Right.
I am, and I
Good.
mean, I'll put the utmost passion in
Mm-hmm.
all of that.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
good. That's
so
good.
that's what I want to do also in 2022 and in my 30s, you know, just kind of like do something I love instead of doing crap jobs
Exactly.
that's not getting me anywhere.
I know exactly what you mean. Exactly. And I think that's really good. So with you doing all of this and putting the effort forward to get to where you want to go, just like 5 years from now, like where do you think you'll be at? Like what do you be doing? I know you said you want to be in the room with DWG. Like what will life be
Yeah,
like for Tommy? Well, how many projects will you have out? Like what will you be at?
5 years from now, I hope that I am sitting in a room with DWG, and we're just, you know, marveling at our Emmys and, you know, all of our awards. We're just like, look what happened. Like we started from nothing,
Yeah,
literally nothing,
yeah.
you know, and you know we're just sitting around, just kind of like, this is nice, you know, and then we're just, you know, we're on to the next project, but we're just kind of we have a name for ourselves.
Hmm.
You know, people are actually coming to us for
Hmm.
work instead of, you know, us trying to, like, you know, find work.
Right. That
um and you know, and I really do, I just want to like live my life instead of like working my life away, you know, chopping my blocks.
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
you know, and you know, I 5 years from now, hopefully I see my name like on, you know, like Cartoon Network or Adult Swim, you know, like, you know, Reaped, created by Tommy Chandler.
Yes, yes, claim it,
Or
claim it.
and I've also like debated on like, you know, I thought about this, like, should I keep my name Tommy Chandler, or should I say, you know, Tommy TC Chandler, you know,
Oh,
something that, you know, something that has like a ring to it, because I don't know, like, you know, like the creator of Regular Show, JG Quintel, like that name sticks, you
yeah,
know. I
go
want a name
for it.
that sticks.
Yeah,
So
go
I
for
don't know. I don't know if Tommy Chandler, I don't know if that sticks, or if I should just go by TC or something like that. I don't know.
Oh,
So
that sticks though. That does
yeah.
stick. I like that. Okay, all right. I got you. I got you. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. So, like, where can people find you? Like those that are interested in maybe collaborating with you, finding your work, basically
Hmm.
connecting with you. What social media platforms are you on? What's your
Yes. So I'm trying to use Twitter a little bit more. So I put
Mhm.
my handle down here. I
Okay,
put
got you.
so yeah, I'll reanimate. That's where you can find me on Twitter. And then on Instagram, you can find me at reanimations. Or no,
Mhm.
sorry, no, it's Tommy Hot Hands. And
Tell me
yeah,
how
Tommy, yeah, Tommy underscore Hot Hands on Instagram.
got
That that comes from a game of Risk, and you know, like, if you guys want to know about that, I'll tell you later. But
you.
but yeah, so there's that, and then you can find me on LinkedIn, Tommy Chandler.
Mhm.
Um, let's see, those are like the three main ones. I'm not on Facebook because I'm not a big fan of Facebook. It got really toxic. So,
Mhm. You got a
but
website or
um,
anything?
yeah, so DWG actually has a website. I'm glad you brought that
Okay.
up. And it's right now, it's like it's in the stages of it's free. So, but it looks amazing. I think it looks great. But it's dwgcreatives.wixsite.com/home.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. And I think the slash home is important because I haven't bought the domain yet.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
So, but
yeah.
yeah, right now it's just a very simple website. It just has all of our names and, you know, what we do and how we contribute. But
Yeah.
hopefully, like, once this gets released, you know, we can post that on the website, and then, you know, we will we're also going to, I mean, hopefully also start doing like some blogging or some vlogging, and we're going to beef up that website a little bit more too. So
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, that definitely sounds interesting. And this interview, it's really been a pleasure talking to you, getting to know everything that you're working on. I
Yeah,
think
this has been great.
yeah, yeah, and I think it's fascinating because there's a lot of potential, from you and from DWG, but not just that. It's just that you're coming to an organization that could benefit from having you as well as you benefit from being in it. So it's like a
Exactly.
win-win. It's like when other members or creatives come in, they'll be like, "Dang, this guy he does cinematography, animation, like what?" You know what I'm saying? So those are the kind of
Exactly.
members. Those are the kind of members that you want to have on your team, and have doing things. So I'm really excited for what you have. And I think that you guys are going to do some amazing things. I think that we're going to do some amazing things. So I just
I
love,
have
yeah, I love DWG and everything that you guys are pushing for. So
well, thank you. And I love that group, and I love On Location, man. Like they're doing they're going to do some amazing things, and they are doing amazing things 100%. And I'm glad to be a member of it, because I mean I truly do believe like they're here for the artist, like they're here to push you, and they're here
yeah,
to help you along the way, in an industry that just is really hard to get into. But I think they kind of soften the blow a little bit,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and they make you feel like you're working towards something, versus
yeah,
versus like, oh yeah, I'm just going to send this email to somebody and hopefully it sticks. So they actually make me feel like I'm hitting a bullseye every time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I know your mantra or a motto that you go by is live a why not lifestyle.
Hmm.
I really like that motto and everything. What would be your last words or some encouraging words, or what would you have to say to basically wrap up this interview?
I would say, just go for it. Like I look back about in my 20s, and I'm just like, I was scared of a lot of things, and I wish I wouldn't have been scared to do a lot of things. So
Mhm.
I think my advice, or to wrap it up, would just be like, don't be scared to do what you want.
Mhm.
Like, if I mean anything, like if you wanna crack a joke and you think it's stupid, crack the joke and nobody laughs. All right, whatever. People move on. But
Right.
like, but just be yourself.
Yeah.
Like, don't try to please anybody. Like, if nobody likes you for who you are, then they weren't deserving to know you in the first place.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, it's hard to bring that authenticity out when you have
It
people
is.
who are, they're judging you, or they're saying, well, you're doing too much, or, they're just not interested in what you have going on. So why not surround yourself with people that think like you and, have the same kind of basically the same energy. You don't want to be around
Exactly.
bad energy, but those that are dreamers, those that are hopeful, that are looking to be encouraged to do something for themselves. You know what I mean? Like you want to be,
Oh yeah.
be around people that are boosting you up and themselves instead of
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
waste my time. So yeah.
So yeah, that just surround yourself with. You're right. I would agree with that. Just surround yourself with people that you love, and that you could be yourself around. Don't try to please anybody.
Right,
You
right.
know, don't try to please anybody,
Yeah.
because you can't please everybody.
Exactly. No, you cannot. Well, it has been a pleasure talking to you, Tommy,
Yeah,
and I
this has been
hope
awesome.
to see you again. And I'm sure next time you will have a lot more to talk about, doing some more interviews. So this was a blast. And next time we speak to you, I know we're going to hear a lot more about Reaped and everything
Oh
that
yeah.
is working on,
Yeah.
everything that you're collaborating through the Auteur Club, with On Location Memphis and everything. So thanks a lot, and you have a good night or enjoy your
Yeah.
evening.
Thanks a lot. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, you guys. So that was our interview with TC Chandler, or as he says, he gonna change his name to Tommy TC Chandler. I love it. I love it. That was fun. Very good. Very good. But we have so much more in store for you. So stay tuned. Keep your dial on like. Love this video, share it. We'll have more to come, more interviews, more information for what On Location has going on. And once again, this is your girl, Laquita Langhorn, aka LL. TC got me changing my name now. Tommy got me changing my name. Now my name LL, okay? I'm just kidding. But thank you guys for tuning in, and you all have a good night.